That's what's up. I was looking at KF for a moment, see what's going on over there. There's not a lot to really talk about. Basically, Kiwi Farms is like, oh yeah, so apparently Tibbs claims to have gotten this in an email. I don't claim anything. I did get that in an email about how they're running away and stuff. And then the email says that Mark's won. Everyone on Kiwi Farms like, Mark's got fucking boned after what he did. And we're like, yeah. It's weird that people think I took full credit. No, I did credit for what I put out there that helped along the way. Like again, it's like no one listens in those communities. They're just so mentally ridiculous. It's just I feel like I'm dealing with a bunch of immature morons when it comes to those websites. What the fuck? Anyway, it's just the most. How would I word it? It's just some of the most mindless stupidity humanly imaginable. You see, I've always taken credit for what I've done, right? And what I've done is I put out information that basically exposed a very disturbed and fucked up individual named Mark Sadu. Its cinemas was also something I documented these people, and the people that are mad at me and saying that I'm full of shit, and the people that are apparently like taking all the credit for, we're gonna make Marks the suffer for what he did, like that's what they're doing, right? Um, the people who are doing that turn a blind eye to what was happening with Mark and cinemas for years when I was telling them way back when this was going on. Bionicle enthusiast, he don't have all of his nuts and bolts in whether it should be, you know what I mean? Because I look at Bionicle enthusiast, he's the one saying, oh yeah, Tibbs for years propagated fail docs. So did Bionicle enthusiast and Edward Boy. But I'm over here, I'm the bad guy because what? I didn't know whether to use Marx's information or not to expose who he really was. And even then, I've always said, this is what people are saying, this is what we know. That's why it is some of the most irritating shit, honestly. Because I'll go on here and I will literally showcase who a person is through their Facebook or however I can figure out it is actually them. And people get so angry at me for that. But then they'll sit here and say, oh, but you were failing in this. Well, yeah, but you dismiss how I actually knew who was who. And I've done the Facebook and the other things where I link an actual identity to an actual scumbag on the internet. I've done that dozens of times. Like dozens. Because it's not hard to find the real you. These people always have side social media. They pretend they don't, but they do. But how is the fail docs in any way like a way to condemn me when at the end of the day I've always helped expose these predatory people? And they like to pretend that I don't, but that's the thing. When Cinema's face went out, that information came exclusively from me and nobody else. In fact, they've been trying to bury that for years until it was too late. And then there's the whole thing with Marks. They act like, oh, I'm a bad person. They pretend that I'm this bad guy because I talk shit about everybody equally. If you all act stupid, I will call you out on what you do that is stupid. If someone says something gross or stupid in my chats, I'm not going to sit here and kiss your ass. And if your friends are not condemning you for it, I will if it's something that needs to be condemned. I mean, there's right and there's wrong. It's really that simple, right? And these people for years dismissed what Marks and Cinemas were doing. But they like to pretend I'm the bad guy because I talk shit about all of them. Because all of them were helping them do it. Now it's like, oh, well, if we crap on Marks and Cinemas enough, they won't know what we did. And that's why NWB is getting the treatment he gets behind the scenes. And I hear about what's happening. It's funny. But he's heading to a different direction entirely half the time for a reason. He's quietly trying to pull away. But I was going over there to see what's going on. They're like, yeah, so supposedly Tibbs got this in email. It's not supposedly. I can prove I got an email. I just don't feel like showing off my email. You know what I mean? I changed my emails. I'm not going to be stupid and re-showcase it. And then we have the same problems we had last time. You can change your email name once every 12 months. So once 11 months goes by, I'll do it uncensored, But for now, it's like, nah, I can show you a screenshot. I can verify this information. I mean, it's not like they're gonna. My haters at RM, they were always very open about this too. They're always big fans of Marx, and they'll defend his name. That's why they're doing what they're doing, to keep his work going. But yet, Marx was a bad person, right? Kiwi Farms needs to get their shit together, because that is the entire reason why people are losing faith in William Glory Hole. What a fucking name, by the way, right? People lost their faith in NWB for the same reason. These guys are supposed to be the ones who expose and call out the bad guys, right? But yet, they'll dismiss anyone that they like. Like, oh, it's okay if this guy does it because he's my friend. That's not how that works. You can't have a moral or a principle, but then you immediately turn on that principle when it's somebody that's your friend. That means it's not really something you believe in. If you believe that predators are bad people, you should not sit here and be like, oh, but this is my friend, therefore it's okay when he does it. That means you don't actually hate predators. That means you're okay with them as long as it's somebody you like. That's why Donald Trump as a topic is such a ridiculous topic, because he is all over the Epstein list stuff. And for whatever reason, so many people openly, publicly, with their name in the open, dismiss it. It's like, but then you look like a predator when you do that. You know what I mean? And that's why the word predator gets thrown around so much, because a lot of people fit into the category of what a predator is. It's not just somebody who does predatory things. It's also people who help them do it or enable them or are okay with it because you dismiss it like it's not a big deal. He's a predator. So what? Aren't we all? No, we're not. Some of us genuinely want to see the world be better. And that's what is really ridiculous about it, is that with these troll groups, all of them are the biggest hypocrites in the world. Because you can't sit here and act like you're against something, but then not be against it with something you like. That means you're not actually against it. That's what that literally openly means. And it's like, that's why I just don't respect these guys, but at the same time, they'll sit there. And it's nice, because they're openly crapping on people who are actually bad, Marx, cinemas, etc., right? But then the rest of Kiwi Farms is in their little high horse trying to act like, oh, yeah, but he didn't do shit. I did more than just shit. I did more than these people ever did. I mean, fun fact. People might not know this, but it's been out there on the internet for a while. And the A-logs don't like to cover it, and because my old channel's gone, I don't know if I have the stream where this is actually mentioned by Marx directly on panel. The whole reason I have a Kiwi Farms thread about me, by other people, mind you, is because Marx asked Bionicle Enthusiast to do it. NWB was helping him at the same time. He's like, oh, look, he talked to Cyrax. He asked questions. We need to put this out there. They didn't even try to document me. I'm not allowed to engage with my own thread because the stuff I have debunks and basically fills in all the blanks that they don't want to tell you because they lie about people. That's all they do on Kiwi Farms. They've never told the truth about anyone in their life, and that's why so many people think Cyrax is innocent. Which is, I don't even know where to begin, right? So when I'm over here and I'm trying to fill in the blank spaces, they're like, they were begging Josh Moon, please take him off. We don't want him to be on there. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you actually joking me right now? Because, like, you don't want me to fill in the blanks, but then you're begging some guy to help censor everything I have to say so that no one knows what the truth is. Fuck Kiwi Farms. That platform shouldn't even exist. It's just a hate forum where people just act like douchebags, and it doesn't need to be out there. In fact, I am proud to be under the wing of the under the government of the FBI, where the FBI is actually up there and the head honchos in charge, because the FBI has thrown so many books at those people. You know they're gonna have to be around for much longer, right? Enjoy your hug box. It may not be a thing in a couple of years. I like how they're starting to censor the crap out of the internet. You know why? Because then the assholes don't get to ruin it every single time. Sure, it's been quiet. It's been uncomfortably quiet. But, like, I have to get used to peace again. It's been so much conflict, right? They say, oh, we're taking a vacation. Trolls don't take vacations. They just don't do that. And they're not operating anywhere else from what I can see either, which is insane. Because that means they just up and quit. They don't have vacations. Trolls don't do that. Then again, they were never trolls to begin with, were they? They were predatory people who wanted to destroy me for telling the truth, and I think that's messed up. But hey, let's pretend that it's over, right? Let's pretend. No, when this war ends, another will begin. That's what happens here at TiBBzTV. There is no happy ending. We become soldiers. We find out that we don't get to go home. There's no home to go back to. That means the battlefield is our fucking home. Yeah, we're gamers. Maybe the battlefield is in the game or on the internet. This is digital war. But anyway, this becomes what we are, right? There's always another war. But let's pretend. Let's live in the delusion that it's over. Is it really? I don't know. If it is over, well, that means I have to embrace something I have not embraced in so fucking long, and I don't know how to. Like, I sit here, I pretend that I'm okay. I mask it as good as I can around the people around me. Anyone I meet in life, I mask the shit out of it. But when I smoke weed or I drink, or if I'm just depressed even, the alters kick in. Oh, I feel it. Every fucking day. I have to embrace peaceful, happy, I get to move forward now. I don't want to. I don't want to move forward. I want to destroy the world. That's what I really want. That's why I embraced Varys and the Legion. Because they promised destruction. Inside, I was upset, you know. I opened a door I couldn't close. Pandora's box, I guess, right? And Varys promised that low-cow culture would fall, empires would fall. He promised that. He told me a lot of things. I've shared a lot of his predictions. They come true pretty much every time, and it's a lot to take in. It is. But let's say it's not over. Oh, that means we're just getting fucking started. Doesn't stop the trolls. There's got to be something after that, right? Is it weird that our streams are super quiet to the point where they're almost dead? We went from 20 people a stream. This shit ended. They're not talking about us anyway. They don't dare bring us up. It's lonely. It's also beautiful, knowing that you've built fear into a fucking group of people that has done nothing but terrorize people their entire lives. They're afraid of us. Ooh, that feels good. Something about that feels fucking good. At the same time, it doesn't. It's like, I wish I could just forget about them now, but I never thought I'd actually get to that point, you know, where I get to see what happens after. I was promised this was going to last forever. You don't get to go home and run away and take vacations. I'm going to find all of you and make sure you can never do it again. That's a promise. But anyway, for now,